Hi, it's some time since I've been able to do this, but I've got a chance today to sit down with Sundridge Park's finest, Alfie Plant. I haven't done this for a few months, Alfie, and a lot of water under the bridge since we last spoke.
Yeah, there is, yeah. So looking forward to aerials for you.
Yeah. Obviously, last time we spoke was just after the Open, and that was, looking from outside looking in, that was a bit of a mad time for you.
Yeah, it was. It was a dream come true, and yeah, the dust is certainly starting to settle now, which is nice.
Good, back to reality, and obviously you had a few big events since then, and we've sort of got a list of what to ask you. And not long after the Open, you had a chance of playing in the Walker Cup. You selected for that. Tell us about the way that you were notified that you got into the Walker Cup.
Yeah, it was just a simple phone call, really, which was quite nice. I was half kind of expecting it, but then until you get the phone call, you're never quite sure. So yeah, it was nice to tick it off the list. It was another dream of mine to play in the Walker Cup and kind of top my amateur career off with that. So yeah, another great week to add.
Right, where were you when you took the phone call?
Where was I? I think I was in the driving range. So yeah,
grinding it out as usual.
So, yeah, as I said, it was nice to get it, and I was looking forward to getting out to LA.
And you put the phone down and punched the air, or
I don't know. It was a strange one, because I kind of got off it, and I was like, I kind of knew that deep down. I knew that I was going to get selected, so it was just a bit more of a relief, really, to go, finally got it, So. Yeah, and then it was a couple of days later, and then you kind of start to, all sink in and realise, I'm going now. So no, it's great.
So what about team kits and whatever? They get you in a certain place, and
well, they kind of, they take all your measurements. So earlier in the year at the Livham Trophy, we all kind of had a fit kitting with Tightness, and then Oscar Jacobson, I think, did all the suits and that. So they all had like kind of 22 guys' sizes all ready,
right?
And then as soon as they got the go ahead, then it was just all shipped out. So I got a fair few boxes of clothes and shoes and ties and socks, and we've got absolutely everything under the sun. So
it wasn't like taking 10 of you down to the local Next or something.
No, it wasn't. No, so all had the logos on, and all the badges and that. So. Yeah, it was great. We all looked great together, and was all in the same kit every day. So, it was a really good team environment.
Right, and the course itself?
Oh, great! LA
Country Club, yeah.
On every hole, they had about 8 different tees.
Wow.
There's talk of there being a US Open there, soon anyway, a few years. So I'm really interested to see what they do with the course. They'll have to toughen it up a bit. Kind of narrow the fairways in a little bit, but the greens, the fence around there, they're so slick. They was kind of 14 or 15 a week.
Wow.
On the sim meter, and rock hard as well. So yeah, it was very tricky. The first time we looked at it was the Monday we got there. So the preparation was kind of rushed and kind of squeezed into a week. When you're hearing the American guys are going there for 2 or 3 kind of training camps throughout the year at kind of 3 to 5 days. Their prep can be a lot more stretched out. They can see a lot more of the course. Put themselves in a lot more different situations. So they're up around in preparation, but we certainly got down to work as soon as possible.
Yeah, and the team room was good atmosphere in the team room.
Yeah, it was all right. It's strange because all year we're competing against each other. It's a combination of 4 countries, and we play a couple of tournaments. Triangular matches against them all. So all of a sudden we're teammates. When they're hitting a good shot, we're supposed to be pleased where forward have the hump. Or we're wishing they're hitting it in the bunker. So it was a bit strange to begin with. But we all got on great and had a really good time.
Great. So all that lead up to that big day, and then you get drawn out first, huh?
You was going first. No, I got told on the Friday night that I was going to be leading them out with Harry Ellis. and also got the news that I wouldn't be playing in the afternoon. So,
Right.
yeah, it was a bit of a mixed emotions. You know, I was pleased to be, leading out the Walker team, the Walker Cup team, but then I was gutted and fuming really that I wasn't playing in the singles in the afternoon. So it was a bit of a strange one, but
Any reason given to you or not?
yes, that was what he kind of just decided. That's what he thought was right. So I had a few discussions in my own head.
Yeah.
But that's what the captain wanted, and you just got to get on with it and support the team.
So Harry hit the first shot, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he hit the first drive. He hit it just in the semi-rough or the rough.
Yeah.
And from there, I could move it about 100 yards on the par 5. So, it's that's kind of how the course was playing. If you're on the fairway, you're fine. If you're in the rough, it's lob wedge, sandwich, or wedge. So, we kind of went one down early on, which is a bit of a shame. But that's kind of how the rest of the day followed.
Yeah, and then 2 down and then 3 down.
3 down, 4 down. Yeah, it was all of a sudden. Yeah, I was just trying to save face out there, but it was. We come up against the best pair all week. They won all their matches. I think they was the only team or the only pair under par in the doubles, considering it's foursomes. It's it's the opening of the Walker Cup, and they've come out birdieing what I think it was 4 of the first 6 or something. So it's outrageous, really. But and in that situation, the worst thing you can do, but you have to try and make more birdies, and if you ain't quite on in foursomes, you soon make more bogeys. So, it was one of them scenarios. You either try and fight it and claw it back, or you just kind of even out and take like a 4 and 3. But it wasn't in our characters to do that, and we soon made a few bogeys trying to make birdies, and that was the biggest score of the week.
Yeah. So after that day, obviously you didn't play in the afternoon, but the next day you didn't play in the morning either. And was that a bit of a surprise to you?
Again, it's it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. You want to get out there and prove yourself again. You want to try and get a point for the team, and it's that's all you want to do. So to sit out in the morning again was tough. It's you just want to be out there, and I think every player in that situation would be the same.
Yeah. What did you do with yourself that morning? Did you go and support the team, or you practiced? Or?
A little bit of both, really. I kind of took my time in the morning, kind of got up a bit later. It's early starts all week, so I had a bit of breakfast. Just kind of had a bit of time, really, just to kind of gather my own thoughts, really. I've been told that I was going out last in the singles. So I've got all day. I've got all day to prepare and to practice, and just to battle my own mind a little bit. So took the time in the morning, went out, supported the team. My coach Warren was out there, so we did a bit of work on the range, which was nice. I don't think I was teeing off till kind of 3:30 Sunday afternoon. So it was a bit strange because the last time I was in competitive golf was probably 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and then the next time's 3:30 Sunday afternoon. So the course is changing kind of every hour. It's getting a lot firmer. The greens are getting quicker. There's a lot going on out there, which I couldn't really afford to miss, really. So but with all that going on, hopefully the match was still going through 9 holes for me. So it was a strange old weekend.
Yeah, I bet it was. And in the singles, you had him. You was up for quite a time. Was you aware of what the match was doing?
There's scoreboards out there. It's I had a great match against Maverick. He was number 1 in the world for a while, and I think he was still in the top 3 when he turned pro. So it was going to be a good scalp if I could take it. He's one of the top guys out there. In the US. But we had a great battle through 9 holes, and after 9 holes. He I made a few errors, but all of a sudden, we always lost, really. So it was a bit of a shame that I didn't have more to kind of fight for, or a bit more pressure on me. But I made a few mistakes. He made a good couple of birdies, and that was the game wrapped up, unfortunately.
So losing Walker Cup, it didn't obviously feel very good, I would imagine, coming off there.
No, it was it's a strange scenario, really. You know, as an amateur, you want to get 4-0, which would be great. You want to hold the winning putt. You know, that's everything. You know, going through your amateur career, you want to do their moments. So all of a sudden to get there and not even be able to get 4 out of 4. It's one kind of thing down, and then being in the last groups, it's great if it's all tight, but didn't get a chance to kind of hold the winning putt. So the two things you kind of dream of and work towards through your amateur career, I didn't have the chance to do. So, but look, the build up to it and the week in Hull, I'd recommend any amateur to tick it off and put it on their CV, because it's one great week.
Yeah, and opens up a few doors as well, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So. Straight after that, you turned pro.
Yep.
Yeah. Easy decision?
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, it's that was kind of the pinnacle of amateur golf, the Walker Cup. I felt like I had a pretty good CV behind me. I felt like I was already known to the public, and it was it just felt right for me. I was kind of 25, felt like a good age, a little bit late, some may say, but yeah, everything just seemed right, really. So yeah, easy decision.
Right, and just after the Open, you obviously a lot of interest, Alfie's Army and whatever. So you had a few management companies approach you. You had a lot of interest.
Yeah, it was, it was nice. You sat down with a few of the big names, which was good, and they also do their sales pitch, and they all say similar things, and it's not rocket science. I don't think in the way their job works, the better their player does, the better job they can do, really. So, sat them all down, heard them all out, and then it kind of went down to the guys I kind of got on with a lot, really. I'm going to spend a lot of time with them. I'm going to be in a contract with them. The last thing I want to do is sign a contract and 3 or 4 months later, I can't wait to get out. That's a terrible decision, really. So, come up with Lagardère, got some big names in the States. I'm their first European signing, or was their first European signing. So, I was on the start of a journey. They was on the start of a journey in the UK and in Europe. So, it just felt right. And, the guys I spoke to from Lagardère, it was great. Got on well straight away. So, put my trust in them.
Right, and you get on. Who you dealing with?
So I've got Jamie Evans. He's my manager over in the UK. So they're based in Victoria. They've got offices up there. So nice and local, which is nice. And we've had a few good times already on the road, and it's been a good time.
And you're telling me before I started this little interview that they've just signed a new player, and that you won a bet. Is that?
Yeah, that's right? It. Yeah, no, we had a little bet going that I could guess at their next signing. So.
So who did you have a guess at?
I picked Eduardo Molinari, which is.
Why was that? It's a bit sort of.
You just. Once we had the bet, you kind of little inspector head goes on. You see who he's talking to on the range, and,
Right.
So it was like it was quite serious, So kind of went to work and guessed it right. And
so what was the bet? What's his forfeit?
Well, his forfeit, he's got to get a fish pedicure. He hates his feet getting touched, and that's I thought that was perfect. So. We're just waiting to come across, a box of water with loads of fish in, and we're getting straight in. So, he's not looking forward to it, but that's it.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So, your first tournament was after you turned pro.
Yeah, the Portuguese Masters.
And how was teeing it up for the first time in a?
Yeah, it was great. It's again a mix of emotions. It's my dream and goal was to be on the European tour, even though I didn't have a card or any status. You've kind of reached where you want to get. So it was it was a good week. It's a bit of a strange week as well, because there's a lot going on. It's a completely new world. I didn't know where anything was, or where to go, where to sign in. Your course planners, you had to get on the internet, which I never knew that. So there was loads of different things going on in the environment, and then also myself. It's you're kind of walking around like, oh, I'm here, it's,
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of not concentrate, but, you just find yourself kind of looking at players you're next to on the driving range and, just kind of floating through the week really. But, yeah, it was good. It was a nice opener. The course wasn't too tough. Scoring was good. Missed the cut that week, but mentally it didn't really...
Did you feel nervous that week?
Not really nervous. Just like, I was just happy again, You're where you want to be. So
Yeah.
why be nervous? I've kind of trained, for 20 years to get there, and
Absolutely.
it was like, well, this is what you've trained for. Let's just, just enjoy it and get on with it and see, see what happens.
That's a great attitude. What about practice rounds? Who are you playing your practice rounds with? Have the management company sort of set you up with anybody at all?
A little bit, yeah, over time. Yeah, I've been practicing a little bit with Austin Connolly, a guy from Canada. So yeah, he now lives in I think San Diego. He lives. So yeah, Jordan Spieth's best friend. He grew up with him. So yeah, trying to pick his brains, which is nice. It's nice to be out there and kind of have a bond with someone straight off the bat because he's with the same management company. You kind of feel like you've got a friend out there already, which is nice. Yeah. He's a young lad, similar game to me, so yeah, it's nice to be able to learn off someone.
Fantastic. So, tour school, first stage of tour school was before or after?
After the Portuguese, the week after,
right,
yeah.
Okay. And how did that go for you?
Yeah, good. It was strange. It was just kind of in playing mode really. So I kind of just rocked up and kind of got on with the week really. Technically, I wasn't there and wasn't happy with my game, but where I've been playing so much golf, your scoring kind of senses as such are so high, and you kind of you're in the mode of making birdies, making the up and downs for pars. You just seem to be able to churn out results, which was nice, and yeah, managed to get through there by a couple of shots in the end, which was nice. First experience of tour school, never been there before, so another new experience I've been faced with. So yeah, it was nice to get through the first stage.
Because those few weeks at tour school, there's such pressure to play well, isn't it? In those few weeks that you can go out and win a tournament or finish top tens and whatever, but if you play well in those 2 or 3 weeks, your future is secured, isn't it?
This is the thing, you're playing for your work next year, so it's like any job. If there was qualifying school for it, and if you don't qualify, you don't work next year, or it's not guaranteed as such, then I probably wouldn't be able to even hammer in a nail. It completely changes. You're not getting paid for it. There's no scoreboards out there. It's basically like turning up here for the monthly medal and going out and playing for next year's work. So it was strange. Yeah, you see a few sites in the car park when they realise they've missed, and people are smashing things up, and there's so much emotion there because no one knows on the golf course where they are, what they're doing. If they make a birdie, it's great. If they make a bogey, they think they're not getting through next week. So you're kind of looking at others around the course, seeing what they're like. Are they playing well? Are they not? Is everyone walking around like they're owning the place, or they're all nervous? So it is a different environment altogether.
So no scoreboards at first stage, no scoreboards at second stage.
No, only when you get in, you kind of where you're lying.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
But that's no help when you get in. It's just especially par fives and that. Do you go for it? Do you not go for it? There's a couple of drivable par fours that do you risk it or not? You need to kind of work them out in the moment, not when you finish, because you can't go back. So. Yeah, it's a strange time of the year for pros.
So, from first stage, you went to, was it the Spanish Open? Was the next one?
Yep, went to Spanish Open at no, was it the Spanish Open or was it the Dunhill? I think it was the Dunhill.
It was Dunhill.
Yeah.
Now that must have been a great week because
Yeah,
everyone.
It's a funny week that because I've come straight off the amateur circuit, and it's all. I feel like it should be all intense, It's just like it's just coming to the end of the year. It's a big prize pot. It's everyone should be focused, but you get to the Dunhill and it's like a big party. So you know, you're trying to concentrate and thinking, right, this is it. I can get a few quid here. You make everything a lot easier. And then, well, the Jigger pub across the road is absolutely round. You've got celebrities walking around. All of a sudden, you're like, well, I don't know what's going on here. It's like I've just turned pro. It all should be serious. And then the second tournament out, it's a big jolly up. It's a big jolly up, and it's like, what's going on here? The first one I didn't know where anything was, or I'm kind of in awe of a couple of guys in the race. And the second one, I'm standing next to Vladimir Klitschko in the pub, who's 6 foot like 12. Like, what is going on? Is this right? Is this normal? I don't know. So it was another strange week. They've got like gala dinners. They've got like a revealing of what kind of partner you get through the week, which is kind of like a cocktail party. It's I took a member up here on the bag, Martin. It was another strange week. It was just kind of, I don't know, I just couldn't get my head around it. Like what they all should be like, concentrating, and they should be out on the doing practice rounds of 6 hours, chipping and putting, and some of them didn't even play some of the courses because they've already played. It was really windy and miserable. So
was it miserable the whole week, or was it?
Not so much. It's just Scotland, isn't it?
It's
just there's always a wind up there. It's cold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was a strange kind of second introduction to the European Tour, but another great week, which was nice.
Yeah, and you made the cut on
missed the cut there.
Missed the cut.
Yeah.
Who's your playing partner?
I played with a guy called Oliver Baker.
Right.
He's granddad. I should remember this now. He's not a member of the Berkshire, his granddad, a very good amateur.
Right.
Benalek?
Yeah.
Do you know, what's his
Michael Benalek.
Michael Benalek, yeah. So, he had a bit of good golf in his bloodline, which was nice to pick his brains in that. And, he was just a guy, works at Barclays Bank, he's my partner for the week.
So that's 3 rounds and then a cut, isn't it?
3 rounds, yeah. So we play
played St Andrews, Carnoustie,
got to tick off King's Barnes, which anyone listening who hasn't played it, I'd definitely recommend it.
Oh right.
I know it's a little bit more expensive than the others, but it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Excellent.
Yeah, right on the peninsula there. Isn't it?
We've got a few holes kind of on the back nine, which I don't know. It's like I've never played Pebble Beach, but kind of with the sea and all the rocks and the waves crashing, it's almost like a UK version of that.
Oh, wow.
A lot colder, of course.
Yeah,
but it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and the other course you played St Andrews before.
Yeah, I played St Andrews. Yeah, St Andrews, the town is it's great. Seeing people in the pub with their golf shoes or swinging in the middle of the road, pulling their trolleys around. There's not a place like it. So another. And
Carnoustie, you enjoyed
Carnoustie. It's just brutal. It's kind of a little bit out of the way of everything, and you just come across this golf course that certainly likes to beat you up.
So from there, that was the Dunhill over and done with. You had Spain before the second stage, did you?
Yep, had Spain. Valderrama, which made my first cut as a pro. Got my first check.
Great.
Which was a great week. Valderrama. Another great course, it's a kind of course that suited my game, I felt. Played with some good names throughout the week, played with Martin Keimer that week. So it was nice to kind of get that first cut under my belt, a few people would remind me that Rose did miss 21 or 22 cuts, so the pressure was building early on after missing the first 2, so it was nice to tick that off and kind of be able to just move on and focus on the rest of the season.
Good, and it was nice being up to nice and close to Keimer and watch his game. And
it's great.
I would imagine there's some similarities between how you two play.
It's with what Keimer's done in his career. You've kind of got this perception about him straight off the bat. So, Ryder Cups, major winner. All of a sudden, you feel like you're going to get next to him on the tee. He's going to have like a halo on his head. He's never going to miss a shot. He's going to just shoot 6 under. You just thought that's what he's got to do, and he kind of got there. And I doubled the last to tie with him at +3 that day. I just thought Like, what's happened?
Yeah.
He's just a normal guy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when he gets his best week, yeah, he's won a major so far, and you know, when he's not quite on, he's a normal guy like all of us, you know, just trying to get as high at the leaderboard as possible that week. So that was a bit strange, but yeah, you know, it was great to be beside him.
Yeah, it's trying obviously to believe that you are as good as these guys, because you have this perception, don't you, that they are superhuman and they hit straight shots all the time. Don't you? And TV, the thing about watching these guys on TV, you always see the best players playing their best on a Sunday afternoon. You know, you don't see the people who have hacked it all week and missed the cut.
No.
And I think also TV makes people look like they're hitting it straight all the time, which, you know, you can tell me for a fact that they're not.
They're not at all, you know. They're not, you know, they're not doing it any different out there than what I'm doing. You know, it's obviously you've got.
Okay, that's a great question. What are they doing? You know, what have you got to do to get to that standard?
Well,
you know,
some of the guys. One thing I do, they're all a lot more comfortable out there. You know, they know what they're doing. They know where they are. Most of them have got kind of a caddy every week.
because that was the first time you had a tour caddy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he wasn't on the European tour. He was a local caddy at Valderrama.
Right.
He's done a lot of like the Gecko tour, which is a mini tour in Spain. You know, so he's done kind of a lot of the fringe stuff, which is a step up to what I've had the first few tournaments and kind of what I've ever had really. So yeah, that was a big part of the week. You know,
And he thought he helped you.
I thought, I've missed a couple of cuts in a row. Kind of got a caddy who's done it before. I make my first one. Is that a coincidence or not? Obviously, when we talk a little bit later on, I'm sure this little similarity will occur again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just know what they're doing out there. They're just a lot more comfortable. They're a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
Maybe because they've got a few quid in the bank, that might be why they're more relaxed.
Yeah.
Maybe because they've been out there for more years than I have.
Where do you think you've got to improve to get to that standard then? Apart from obviously being more comfortable, do you think being more comfortable and being comfortable in that environment is going to, allow you to blossom as a player?
Yeah, not so much blossom as a player. 'Cause I think if you play well, regardless if you're comfortable with the environment or not, you're going to blossom. But I think in a long-term consistency thing, I think you've got to feel comfortable. If you're going to be out there, for many years, you've got to feel comfortable. You can't, you've got to know where things are. You've got to start kind of getting familiar faces who you can go and talk to if you've got a problem, or know where the kind of tournament offices are, or even going back to the same courses every year. They just know what to expect. They know kind of what's going to happen. They've been in plenty more scenarios than you have on that golf course that they can deal with. So everything's new for me. Every situation I'm in is completely different. From Portugal to the Dunhill to the Spanish, they're 3 different courses, 3 different environments. One was kind of more like a pro-am. So it's just changing. It's just changing every week for me. So. There's a lot going on. Changing caddy every week, going to different courses. Everything's just always constantly moving. So, a bit of consistency off the course, I think, is going to put any player in great stead, really.
Good. So, from there you went to your tour school second stage.
Yep.
So, for people who don't know, there's 3-stage tour school: first stage, second stage, and final stage. And you've got to make the cut in the final stage to get a tour card on the Challenge Tour, which is obviously the tour underneath the European Tour.
Yep.
And you've got to finish in the top 35 to get a tour card on the final stage. So second stage is just getting through.
Not the same as the first stage, really. It's
to the next part of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, and every stage, kind of, the guys from the Challenge Tour who lost their card, then go into second stage.
Yeah.
You know, then when you get to the final stage, the guys who lost their card on the European Tour go into last stage.
And
so.
there's some people on the European Tour who've done poorly on the European Tour who go through to are in second stage.
Yeah,
so
well, yeah.
so you've got people who go through from first stage, people are in second stage who've dropped down from both the
Both
tours
the tours,
above. So the standard is
Yeah,
pretty high, isn't it?
you know, it's a few players in the pot, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, all different ages, all different experiences, all different stories. So, second stage, Los Colinas.
So how did that go for you? Obviously you missed the.
Yeah, it was another strange week, really. It's I don't know. I had a couple of levels to start with. But I was playing nicely. I was kind of coming off there thinking, I could have been under par there. You know, if I was 2 or 3 under, I wouldn't have really played too much different, really. Just a couple of things here and there would have made a difference. It was a 3-round cut here. Kind of went off the third stage, and scoring was good. Scoring was really good all week and quite bunched. So I knew that I had to get under par to kind of not drift too far away. So went out there. Should I say chasing? Not so much chasing, but taking a few more risks, or trying to get a few more flags, or kind of go up a club off the tee just to try and get a little bit closer. Ended up back fine. What did I shoot? Kind of 6 or 7 over, which puts me miles back in the field from there. So it was actually there wasn't a 3-round cut. You could have played all 4 rounds at the second stage. So all of a sudden I was 15 shots off whatever the last qualifying spot was. I think it was 21. So it was. It's a strange experience, really, because all of a sudden now there's nothing to play next year. You're kind of thinking, you've got all sorts going through your head, like, what am I going to do? What are you going to do next year? So
that's when you want your management company to come in and sort of work their magic for you.
This is it. Yeah, this is now. Obviously, you're hoping you've made the right decision in the management company, and but it was a strange week, and a strange kind of couple of weeks following that, really, because we didn't really know what was going to happen. Another new situation for me.
Absolutely. So. And all the resources that England Golf have given you over the last few years, can you still tap into that, or is that as soon as you turn pro, that all ends?
Yeah, it does, unfortunately, and it's times like this now, that I realise, the support actually out, what they give you over the years, and what they do for you. I'm getting surrounded by 4 or 5 of the best coaches. They're at the end of the phone. If I need anything, if I want to send any videos over, or do any kind of extra work, they take you away winter training, put you in competitive golf. I even see the coaches, they're at tournaments throughout the year as well, so before anything can kind of get too bad, you can get in topped up throughout the year. So the support they give is great, and
is that the same for all national bodies, or
I've heard there's a couple of countries in Europe that they'll have kind of maybe 3 pros that they invite back to the amateur coaching as such, or they go to the same warm weather training, and they can use the coaches and still support them for a couple of years. I've heard that they have sometimes they have like a bursary as well for a few of the guys who turn pro, that help them kind of fund things, or maybe give them a bursary with the coaches that they can go up and use. Every country does it different, and I don't know if they get the support, or as much support as I got when I was an amateur. We got so much there that maybe all the resources kind of got drained, and there was nothing left over for extra guys. So the guys in the squads now should make sure they take it all in and
Make the most of it.
make the most of it. Yeah, definitely.
So, going forwards, 2018, big year.
Yeah, it is, and it started in 2017 actually, which was quite strange. But yeah, it is a big year. Yeah, I'm going to be kind of feeding off little bits throughout the year, a few invites here, a few invites there, and it's going to be tough because invites, I can find out on the Wednesday, that I'm playing on the Thursday.
Wow,
so, there's no room for planning. I've got a lot of options, a lot of tournaments that management feel like I should or could be able to get in. There might be slightly weaker fields, or there could be something on that week, WGC or something, so I might be able to slip in. But they're all options. I could sit here and tell you a whole year of options, and I could get to the end of the year and none of them have come through, and I haven't played all year. So yes, it's a bit of a stressful time. It's a little bit of the unknown. So yeah, we'll see how things go, and I've just got to be ready at any moment when I get the call to be able to go out and compete.
Right. So when do you think your first tournament may be then? Because it sounds like there's nothing set in stone.
Yeah,
so.
there's not. I was hoping to get in a couple of tournaments in the Middle East, like Oman, Qatar, later on in the year. Later on, kind of beginning of Feb. Qatar's already said no, so we can't get in there. We're going to be open for Oman, which would be nice. I'm going to try and schedule in a bit of winter practice kind of the week before if I can get into that. So also I've got 2 weeks away, in a bit of warm weather and good conditions and a bit of competitive golf. But I've only got 4 starts left on the European tour that I can take now, so I've got to be a bit strategic. I've got to kind of get top 3s or win one of them to kind of make it worthwhile. So it's about planning and manoeuvring myself into a position that I'm comfortable with my game. Everyone talks about peaking, you've got to try to plan it around when I'm going to peak, when I'm not going to peak. Not that I'm going to have too much control of that, but within them 4, it's another 4 weeks of great experience that I'm going to get.
Just making the most of the opportunities.
Just making the most of them, and just waiting around now for the Challenge Tour, which starts March. There's one in March, and then don't kick off to April really. So a bit of time at home, and it reminds me a bit of when I first became an amateur, really. So as an amateur, you had this kind of long winter period, kind of, where you could get a lot of work done, but also kind of get a little bit rusty, and then kind of gear up for the season. I feel like I've started kind of at the bottom of the ladder again, and this is how it's going to be, hopefully, just for this year.
Yes, that's the key.
But it's just taking every tournament as it comes and every situation as it comes, and hopefully 2019 I'll have come some kind of status or some kind of tour card. Be nice.
Well, look, thanks for spending some of your valuable time with us. Good luck in 2018, Alfie. I hope everything goes well from all of us here at Sundridge Park, and let's see you back on the TV pretty soon.
Yes,
because if you're on the TV, you'll be doing well. Thanks once again.
Cheers, thanks, Stuart.